Welcome in to Greenville Grit, Greenville residents in touch on 103.7 WTIB. This is the local show that keeps you connected and in touch with the issues that affect what's happening in your community. Greenville Grit is sponsored by Ribeyes, Kid Construction, and Greenville Toyota. Now, here are your hosts for Greenville Grit, Terry Williams and Michael Overton.
Hello and welcome to Greenville Grit. I'm Terry Williams and I'm here today with our special co-host again, PJ Conley, who is with Conley Properties.
Correct.
And who also is our wonderful City Council representative serving his first term, and we're really excited about all that. So welcome. Thank you for helping us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Great. And we have an awesome guest with us today, Terrence Copper. Terrence, as many of you will know, is a former Washington high school football player, ECU football player, and an NFL player.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. So we're going to get into that a little bit later about something about your career, perhaps, and about the wonderful Premier Sports Academy.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what we're here to talk about for the kids in our community. So we look forward to getting more information about that.
All right.
Okay, so let's thank our sponsors first. We want to thank Overton Residential Properties. We are a full-service residential needs property management company here in the Greenville area, serving Pitt County, Beaufort County, and Carteret County as well, and we're here to help you with all of your needs. You can reach us at overtonresidential.com or 252-375-8620. We want to thank Greenville Toyota, who've been with us since the very beginning so much. We appreciate their support of our program, located across from Fresh Market on Memorial Drive. You can also reach them at 252-321-3000 or greenvilletoyota.com. And Ribeye Steakhouse, located at the corner of Fire Tower in Arlington, which we all love. Their wonderful steaks, and if you don't eat steaks, they also offer other wonderful pork chops, salad bar. They also have a location in Williamston, and we appreciate their support as well. So we'll take a 2-minute break and come back and get in with our conversation with Terrence. Welcome back to Greenville Grit. We have an awesome guest today, Terrence Copper. Terrence, I want you to really tell us all today about your sports academy. It's called the Premier Sports Academy.
Yes, ma'am.
I had the opportunity of attending the grand opening a couple of weeks ago, and that's how I got sort of interested in it. I already knew a little bit because you were friends with my son Tyler, and we went through football season. My grandson's first tackle football season this past year, which was a lot of fun, and just the boys were just instructed really well, and we were excited about that. But so I got to meet you then, but then a couple of weeks ago, like I said, at the grand opening, you really got a good dose of what you've got going on out there. So I think it would be a great idea to tell our citizens what you have to offer for our kids, because everyone wants to know what can we do with our kids and how can we make a difference in their life.
Well, I tell you what, this is the place to come.
Right.
We cater to age 5 to 18. If you're over 18, you got to be in a sport or training for a sport.
Okay.
But it's not just about sports. The sports that we do cater to is baseball, softball, basketball, football, soccer, weight training as well.
Okay.
But like I said, it's not just about sports. We have tutoring. We have summer programs. We have different programs when it comes to the sport within the sport. But so if you're taking a basketball class or a football class, our kids are required to have an 80. If you don't have an 80 grade point average, we're going to take you out of the class and put you in tutoring, because we really want our kids to understand that, listen, I don't care how good you are in sports. If you don't have the grades and the right attitude, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
And those are the qualities we really want to implement at the academy.
Exactly, that's right. Well, tell us where you're located, and then I want to know tell them how you did the interior of that building, because it is fascinating that you have all those sports under that roof, basically.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Well, we're located at 4801 Reedy Branch Road, the Sarah Law Complex, the old zone, formerly the zone.
Okay.
The inside, we really did a lot to the inside. The batting cages, we redid the batting cages. We put turf down in the batting cages.
Right.
We put retractable nets in the batting cages. We redid the basketball floors. We put LED lights. We just really did a lot of upkeep to it.
Right.
You're expanding to it, really.
You did.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you also have a deli, sort of a deli
yes,
type.
ma'am. We have protein shakes.
Right.
We sell deli foods. Everything is very healthy because we're not going to train our kids a certain way and then feed them chicken strips, fried chicken. So everything we do is going to be healthy. We have an apparel shop.
That's right.
We have areas for birthday parties, and we have, like I said, the kitchen. It's a full industrial kitchen.
Right.
We also have arcades.
That's exactly right.
We have everything that you want to do.
So during the year, like right now, I mean, I don't know what's going on right now, but obviously kids are still in school. So
Yes.
do you offer something after school?
Yes, ma'am. We actually, all the classes that we offer is after school.
Okay.
Their first class may start at 4:30. And so you have a class 4:30, you have another class maybe 5:30. So it all depends on what class you're taking. You could take a beginner's class of basketball or football or soccer, or you could take a more advanced class.
Right.
It all depends on where you're at. And we're not going to place you by age because you have some kids that's more advanced
Right.
at a younger age. So just because you're a young kid, that doesn't mean we're going to put you in a beginner's class. We're going to assess your talent, and we're going to put you where we feel like would be the best thing for you.
Right. So when I was in there, you have this, like, it looks like a football field. It's beyond the batting cages, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's actually in the batting cages.
Okay. It's because I wasn't wasn't real sure about what was going on. Well, there was a lot of people there, which was great, and
Yes,
they were
ma'am.
from everywhere. Wilson, Washington.
Washington,
they
Rocky
came from
Mount. Yes, ma'am.
which is what you're going to want, obviously, to attract a lot of people outside of our county, but obviously we'll be serving our county too. And
Yes, it's really directed towards Eastern North Carolina, not just Greenville.
Right.
We really want to reach a broad area of kids, especially during the summertime.
Right.
So people can come in and travel in and come to the academy. Different places, a lot of pro athletes going to be coming in. A lot of college athletes going to be coming back home to train as well.
Right. Okay, so let's get back a minute to that turf. So, because the boys were out there and they were all trying to play football. So, is that where you'd actually do your instruction for football, or
No, that's your instruction for baseball.
Just for baseball only?
Baseball and
Okay.
softball, but it's a multi area because you
Okay.
actually can do soccer in there as well.
Okay.
Those nets that was up, they're all retractable, so we can pull those nets
Okay.
back, and then the field open up for about 25 yards of field. So you
Okay.
can do a lot of footwork drills in there.
I see.
You can do ground ball drills. You can actually play soccer in there.
Okay. All right, that was really interesting.
I'm really excited. Talking to you out there in the lobby, I was excited to talk to you about it because there's not too much as far as a competition in the area for your business. And I thought back when I was playing professional baseball. When I came back, there weren't too many locations here in town that I could go and train. Especially in the winter months, because it would be a little bit cooler. And I thought, a place like this we never really had, and you couldn't get in there and do the type of things that you're offering. So I think that's really neat. What was your passion, I guess, to really get involved and choose this location?
I'm from Little Washington. I went to East Carolina, so I'm kind of rooted in this area. Even when I was playing in the NFL, I used to always come home during the off season, and this would be my home. But I really had a passion. I really have a passion for kids and giving back and being able to give the knowledge that I soaked up through all my careers, through all my years of playing sports, to give back to the kids. And even with our coaching staff, all of our coaches either played in the NFL or the major leagues or played in college somewhere. So we really have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the soccer program, when it comes to the softball program, even the football and baseball and basketball. So all our programs, all of our coaches have a lot of experience in the profession that they're coaching.
I love the concept, and I think it's a great location out there. I think you've kind of strategically placed yourself, so you're right in the middle. You have so many different areas that you can that people can go to. Because I think of all the kids that go to Parrott Academy down in Kinston, and I think we could pull some of those Kinston kids back this direction too. And I think that's a great opportunity. I'm really excited to see how you progress. And one of the things we've talked about at the city level is a sporting complex,
Right.
and it's been up in different locations, and I don't know what direction we'll go, but I hate to say this, but we may use your business as kind of as a trial run on where we want to go. But I mean, I'm really excited about that. And I think this is a great opportunity. I'm excited to see where you go with some of the children and some of the other sports that are involved. I'm looking forward to coming out there at some point. But the only other question I've got is, so how do they sign up, or how do they get involved in this?
Oh, you can come to the academy, and we'll sign you up. So a membership, if you didn't sign up before Monday, Monday was the last day for the early bird membership. The membership was then $25 a month.
Okay.
Now it's $37 a month, but it gives you access to the batting cages all you want. It gives you access to the gym that's upstairs. It gives you access to the basketball courts. So you have access to all these things for that membership. If you want to take a class, it depends on what class you take. The prices are different, but we really wanted to keep it very affordable for everybody. So we're not charging anybody through the roof for classes or individual training because we want it affordable. We don't want the kids that parents have a lot of money just to be able to come.
Right.
We want everybody to be able to come as well.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds really great.
And I think, a lot of people, I know when I was playing baseball, the going rate for lessons were usually about $75 an hour. So, that's a great offer that you're offering. So I'm really excited. I think this is great for our area.
Thank you. We're excited about it. We're definitely excited about it.
Well, I do think, getting back to the sports complex just for a moment, like PJ was talking about, that the city, or citizens really, the city's contemplating it too, but there is a group of citizens that have really done a lot of talk about it since last year's advisory board commission or committee that worked together trying to get something together for the bond. But I think this might also help us with sort of a trial run of where the interests lie as well as what, how much interest can we get outside of our community, because we know in order for the complex to be successful, that's the whole idea, is helping us as the city builds it become an economic driver too. And so obviously it will help your business, and that's not just that isn't what we're trying to do solely. Obviously, it's not just make money for the city or for you or whoever, but to offer something to our kids, like you're saying, that 5 to 18 range is just so important. And then we find out, like, if they were able to get the extra training they need there, then the sports complex is opened for tournaments and different things. If we have the baseball fields we need, the softball fields, the basketball courts, and it's just it can really work together.
Yes, ma'am.
To really let us give us a good gauge of what we really need in our community, and I think we already know it's needed.
Thank you.
That's needed for you on that level, and what you're offering at for the kids at that price, or however those packages, and then what the city, later hopefully will offer in an actual complex to have tournaments and that sort of thing.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to all of that.
Absolutely.
And that's really important.
Yeah.
Well, so they also, real quickly, before we move on I want to talk a little bit about you, and then we're going to talk some about ECU, football and baseball maybe a little bit, and the sports a little bit. But also, you're offering camps this summer.
Yes.
And so they can just call the phone number. You have a phone number you can call. You have a website yet?
Yes, is thepremiersportsacademy.net.
Okay.
And all the prices of everything is up there.
Okay.
Or you could call the facility at 252-756-2500.
Okay. All right. That's great. So I was sort of looking over the list of the summer programs, and will that offer all kinds of sports, or is it just a patterned camp for the day of different
It'll be a little bit of both.
Okay.
So you have access. Maybe one day you come in, you might go to the gym and do different things. Or one day you might come in, you may do theater.
Okay.
Because we have a stage in there as well.
Right.
Upstairs.
Okay. Great.
So that's different things we can do to kind of get the kids out of their shyness, to get up and perform or speak in front of their peers. Teach them how to do interviews, because they're going to need it if you're in sports. You need to learn how to do an interview. It's a lot of different things we're going to do, especially with the football program. The football program, I got a lot of NFL buddies.
Right.
So one thing I would tell my kids, okay, go home and Google Reggie Bush. Go home, Google Reggie Bush, come back with 10 questions you want to ask Reggie Bush.
Right.
So they come back with the 10 questions. We'll sit down together collectively and come up with the best 10 questions to ask them. I will Skype Reggie Bush. I would put it in my projector, and I shoot it on the wall, and they can have a live conversation with
That's
Reggie
really
Bush
cool.
or whatever other athlete we want to talk to.
Wow, that's great.
Oh, I think that's neat. That's great exposure for them, and that is really neat. I like that whole idea. That's awesome. Well, I had the privilege yesterday, and as I'm sure a lot of the citizens did, because it was a pretty full room, but our brand new football coach was the guest speaker yesterday at the Chamber luncheon. And some of the things you're saying about getting kids' attention about interviewing and maybe dressing and how to approach other people and all those sorts of things. He also touched on a lot of that, even on the college level, that kids come out of high school. It's a whole new ball game once you get to college. I'm
totally
sure you
yes.
went through that. My husband has said that so often. It's like starting all over again. And some of them come from different areas and they haven't been exposed to certain things and don't know how to do the very things you're talking about. So if they are interested in moving on with college sports, you certainly have a lot that you can train them for, but also just for life.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Because they may go into college and can't make it in the sports, but when they graduate, they've got to make it in life. So,
and one thing about sports teach you so many different aspects of life when it comes to just leadership skills.
Right.
When it comes to just your character, how you carry yourself, how you present yourself around different types of people. You may be friends with white, black, Chinese.
Right.
You will come across a lot of different people, and those are things that you only can really get through sports.
That's right.
I learned a lot of life lessons through sports. And,
That's right.
And those are things we're going to be catering to.
And another thing too is, now that you've progressed from, or moved on to becoming a business owner, I mean, do you think that in your personal opinion that you'd be in the situation you are now without going through sports and having the having all those different opportunities, it kind of puts you in a place. I know that for personally because I own my own business as well, and I think. I think back of all the moments that I had, the different people I met and all the different things that I've been through and the adversity that you go through as an athlete. You have your ups and downs. I mean, not every day is you're holding up the trophy at the end of the day.
That's right.
There's many days you're crying and it puts you in a situation where, you understand that there's highs and lows and maybe you could talk to us about that, about how you've learned as time goes on.
And that right there, that's another program we have. Like we have a lot of different professional athletes, whether it's baseball players, whether it's softball, football, soccer, a lot of different professional players come back to the academy and give their testimony to the kids and let them know the different things that they went through and really how God has really taken them from point A to point B and all the tribulations they had to go through in between. Because we want the kids to understand that anything worth having in life, you're going to have to work hard for it. And it's not going to be given to you. And it's going to be a lot of different obstacles in your way to prevent you.
Right.
But if you keep faith and keep trusting in God, you can achieve it. So those are things we really want to implement at the academy.
So we're going to be physically and spiritually healthy.
Oh, yeah. We're training the whole person as a whole.
That's
Absolutely.
right. And there were, like you mentioned before, a lot of different white, black, Asian, all at your grand opening, all supporting you. And it was so wonderful to see the culmination of all those people together and all working for and wanting the same things to happen for their children.
Yes.
It was really exciting to see that happen. Everybody was all behind you and behind the effort. You have a mission statement? Do you have something that you kind of carry on? Or?
You know what our mission statement is? Show up, dominate, and go home.
Nice.
That's our mission statement. And that's not just
That's
for sports.
awesome.
That's for when it comes to your schoolwork.
For everything.
Show up to school, dominate, and go home. When it comes to sports, show up, dominate, and go home. We had a saying when I played in the NFL that when we traveled, we had away games. That was our motto. We was going to show up, dominate, and we were going to go home. And that's the kind of motto we're bringing into it this time.
Right.
That's
That's awesome.
great.
That's great. So we mentioned earlier you played at Washington High
Yes,
School
ma'am.
football, and then you came to ECU.
Yes, ma'am.
And what year were you at ECU?
From 2000 to 2004.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so then you went on to the NFL, and you had the opportunity to play for several of the organizations. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We played for the Cowboys for 2 years.
Okay.
I played for New Orleans for 3 years.
Wow.
So technically 2.5. The other half of the year I was in Baltimore.
Okay.
And then I played for Kansas City for 4.5 years. I retired in my 5th year with Kansas City. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. That's an exciting career. So but you weren't at Dallas. That would have been before they built that.
Yeah,
brand
before
new.
then. It was before then.
I'd love to see that,
It was the
though.
old stadium. I haven't played in a new stadium yet
Yeah,
either. I haven't played in it, but I heard it looks awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Well, that's great. Well, you've had a great career, and we appreciate so much you coming back and giving back to the community. And
Thank you.
I'm sure other people, will follow in your footsteps. And I appreciate you being able to bring, the people that you've been able to meet along the way back to our community and from other locations and, through your career that
Yes,
they can
ma'am.
share with the kids, what it's like to have made it that far, but that everybody, it's a very small percentage that get to go that far. So
It is.
they really need to concentrate on the other things, too, that you're pushing
That's right.
about their life.
That's right. And we have one thing that I learned when I was in the NFL. A guy named Keyshawn Johnson. He was kind of my mentor when I came
Right.
in. he always told me, say, Terrence, do not try to live an NFL life. It's really just a glam life. It's really not real life. He said the money that you make and the people that you meet gives you a good start to life when you're done playing football. Because my life really never started until I was done. Because when I was playing, everything was peaches and cream, of course, but on the field, I mean, you're going to go through your struggles.
Right.
But once you get done playing sports, that's when your real life really kicks in.
Right.
And I'm thankful for Keyshawn for really giving me those words of wisdom.
That's really good. Do you have anything else you want to ask him right now?
No, I mean, I think it's so amazing because, the NFL, the careers are so short in the NFL, and I'm a big Packers fan, and I just saw the other day that B.J. Raji, he's 29 years old. He announced that he was going to retire. He said he just couldn't take it any longer. He said he couldn't play the sport any longer, and it's one of those things that so many people get involved in sports, and your time, I guess, in the spotlight and making the money that you do is so short, and it's really neat to see that you come back to the community, where you started at East Carolina, playing at East Carolina, come back here and give back to the community by opening your own business and using the things that you learned along the way in the NFL and meeting all the people that you've met, and you bringing up the point where you're Skyping Reggie Bush. I mean, that's really cool. That's an opportunity that kids in this area would not have if you didn't bring that. I had a guy that when I first started playing baseball, I was a terrible athlete, and for whatever reason, he saw something in me, and he took me to a sporting event down in Florida, and I didn't do very well down there, and for whatever reason, he just kept sticking with me, and he was a professional athlete, and he got me on a training regimen and got me into the gym, and next thing I know, I got drafted out of high school.
Wow!
And,
so exciting.
So I mean, and those are the things that I mean, you'll see that as you're a business leader and teaching these kids. So I think that's such a great opportunity. So I've lived kind of through what you're doing, and as somebody that's lived through that, I can say I'm really excited for what you're going to do for this community. I think it's going to be an awesome opportunity for everyone here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We need to be interviewing him.
I know. We're proud of him too.
Yeah.
Well, let's take our second commercial break right now, and then we'll come back and wrap up our conversation with Terrence Copper and the Premier Sports Academy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Eastern.
Welcome back to our show. We've had a great conversation today with Terrence Copper and with PJ as well about their separate careers and their sports knowledge, about everything that they've done with baseball and with football. It's been very, very interesting. Any other comments that you'd like to make before we end today about the Sports Academy? You certainly could just remind people how to get up with you, maybe.
Yes. The website is thepremiersportsacademy.net. The address is 4801 Reedy Branch Road. That's in Winterville.
Okay.
The phone number is 252-756-2500.
Okay, it's great. Well, I've been really impressed with everything you've set up, with the program, with the people you have instructing the kids about, and I'm most impressed about the grades and the pushing of the discipline that you're going to have with, as much as anything. I remember when my boys were, and then my daughter too, she was a cheerleader and she did a little bit of track, but of the discipline of the scheduling. And I think you'll be able to help them with that too. When you talk about your tutoring, about your grades, keeping that balance between I have to study and I have this responsibility, but I want to do my sports side as well. And I think that will probably come into play, and you'll do a good job at helping kids with that. That's tough.
I appreciate it, because definitely the grades come before sports.
Right.
It comes because if you don't have the grades, no one's going to see what you can do on the field.
That's right.
Or on the diamond or wherever on the court. You got to have the grades, and grades come before sports.
That's right. It's really, really important. So I know you don't want to talk about what happened yesterday on the field at ECU in baseball, but I understand that it was a record crowd, or one of the biggest crowds we've had. Were there 5,000 people there?
Oh my goodness, I don't know, to be honest with you, but yeah, there were a lot of people there, and that's the nice thing about Greenville. We support our Pirates.
That's right.
It's a neat thing to have that many people coming out to support us, and Terrence knows that as being NFL player and a Pirate. you'll see that the community supports you, and we really hope that everybody supports your new business venture that you're doing.
Thank you.
I think it's a wonderful thing, and I'm looking forward to hearing the wonderful stories how you get children into college and into the NFL or into the Major League Baseball and all the other places. You're gonna have quite an impact on our community.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think so too. Well, I want to thank our sponsors again today, Overton Residential Properties, Greenville Toyota, and Ribeye Steakhouse. Been with us for a long time, a couple of those since the very beginning, and we so appreciate the support. And you can watch us on Wednesday nights, 6:30. Hear us again, watch us again on Friday nights at 6:30, Saturday mornings at 9:30, and you can also hear us on the radio on Wednesdays, 103.7. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for our guest today, and we will see you next time.